Disney. Predator reading. Sci-fi property starts with a ship going past a space camera cliche. In case you confused it with Urath 841 AD. From. Stealing your lyrics from Ice Cube's You Can Do It, 1100 years before he did it.
I pray you bloody your spear tonight.
Generalized prayers that could be misinterpreted. You better hope Odin doesn't go all genie rules on you, because your boy's gonna trip and impale himself tonight based on your lack of specificity. Segment does not contain a Michael Chiklis. Wait, is the Viking tradition that you just leave your sword in the body you kill? Why do so many of these bodies still have swords sticking out of them? Has no one invented the pull-out method yet?
You might look around and think, I am the lucky one. I am still alive. You would be wrong.
Making it through the pandemic.
Little boy, you and I will meet in the darkness, and I will hunt you.
Mama Ursa told him to give this guy a merciful death like 10 seconds ago, and then steps in and does it herself. Helicopter parents are the worst. Let your kid do the work, Sea Queen.
It's time I tell you what happened to your grandfather.
Ursa has waited until now to deliver a bunch of flashback exposition explaining her revenge boner because she was nice enough to wait until the audience was present.
Baba, get up!
Asking a man with at least 6 arrows sticking out of him to get up.
His blood marks you as my father marked me, and his father marked him.
Family traditions.
Avenge me!
Going full Norman Osborn when Mr. Eggert would have been enough.
That day, something was born inside of me.
It doesn't end up being a xenomorph. Movie continues to have to subtly remind us it's a Predator movie because it refuses to actually Predator yet.
Well, what's the plan, Ursa?
I'm going to knock on the front door.
I'm going to walk right through the front door because they'll never expect it, or they will expect it, but they won't expect me to expect them to expect it, so when I do it anyway, they won't expect it. At least that's what I expect, cliche. Ursa is able to wield these two shields way more like Wolverine's claws than I would have thought possible. Ursa is able to wield this shield way more like Captain America than I would have thought possible. This initial solo siege is absolutely badass and a blast to watch, but it loses a bit because these guards are already suffering terribly from the comorbidities of one-at-a-time-itis and the stormtrooper aim flu. Her son saves her from the axe attacker and she turns and thanks him, as well as thanking everyone else here who pauses this melee for a few seconds so we can have this nice mother-son moment.
Hear me, Zoran, for fate has brought us together again.
Confusing fate for mass murdering an entire countryside in a single-minded revenge quest.
Your father must have been ashamed to have such a weak and disgusting dog.
Mama Ursa has been looking forward to this revenge for decades, and then her son steps in and does it for her. Negligent parents are the worst. How dare you let your kid do your work, Sea Queen? This Predator is the kind of dick who claims to be a badass but joins at the very end of the fight when everyone else is all tired. And he's brought all his gadgets and shit. That's like Daniel Craig's James Bond beating me up after I've just housed a particularly large sandwich. Okay, this movie rules. And of course, the boy gets trapped under a falling support beam because if there's one thing I know about movie support beams, they have an itching for protagonist loved ones. Having to literally cock your arm instead of it being metaphorical, like when Henry Cavill does it. Icicles that conveniently break the surface tension of the water in the convenient hole in the ice, so you can conveniently not freeze to death even though you probably should. Holy shit, this f***ing shot! All the frozen boats sticking out of the ice look pretty cool, but to let this happen is some terrible winter prep by a group of people whose whole thing is boats in cold weather. Ursa jumps down on our guy here with this anchor, and somehow, through ancient Viking witchcraft, it gets perfectly wrapped around his arm device so it can hold him underwater. And it's completely lost on this Predator that his real adversary has always been serendipity. Also, how does that small a chain even get under his arm on the ground to wrap around that much? And now she's wrapping the extra chain around him too. This thing regenerates links like it thinks it's Nintendo in desperate need of a new Zelda game.
Anders.
Mother.
This Anders and mothers on for all the some skip.
My son.
Any mom who finds their child lying injured on the ground and decides to rub snow in their face. I'm not sure how long it took the Predators to realize she killed one of them, find her, capture her, and get her on this ship. But it sure is nice that she waited however long that would be to contemplate holding her son for this cool transition.
この葉は共に育つが兄ゆえ共には散らぬ.
Cool saying and all, but it's patently untrue. Leaves on trees grow at different times and different rates, just as they fall at different times and different rates. Not only that, but sometimes they do fall together. Can't believe they ruined this entire segment already. Having a sword that isn't even sharp enough to cut through the type of beam I saw an elderly Mr. Miyagi break in half with his bare hand in the middle of a typhoon in Karate Kid Part 2. We're already several minutes into this story and not a single line of dialogue has been spoken. And in fact, there will be no dialogue for this entire 20-minute segment until the very end. Yet the story is full of pathos and meaning because the work is being done with the structure and visuals. It's a magic trick. It speaks to the very best of what makes cinema glorious. But damn it, if I wanted art, I'd put in some Kurosawa. Where's my Predator make clicking noises and go kill already? Segment does not contain a sentient world observation and response department. Creating a hidden floorboard storage space, but giving it away by cutting this big of a finger hole. Having pee this fluorescent yellow. Drink some water for f***'s sake. It's dark or whatever, but the way it's cut, this guard sees hands come out of the log with the blow dart, and his only reaction is, Are there no qualifications for this job? Or did this guy lie on his resume? Red smoke or not, these guards all go out like absolute chumps, and I'm beginning to think someone needs to teach movie characters a few lessons in good hiring practices. I feel like the pitch for this movie was, what if Predators were mostly Kevin Bacon from Hollow Man? It didn't take long to get here, but yeah, I think we've officially arrived at the tipping point for dropping your blade in a fight, but then catching it like a badass, achieving cliche status. I'll give all the sins back right now if they start cutting each other's clothes off one piece at a time, Animatrix style. We didn't see Kiyoshi die, so he probably survived this. And if the sin is in the video when you see it, then you know I was right. Predators continue to be dicks who attack when you think the fighting is finally over and that you've won. Should have named this movie Predator Killer of Buzzes. This weapon only needs a slight twist of the wrist to release its finishing move, and there's no way during the training he didn't accidentally set that thing off in the midst of battle all the time and then become the laughingstock of all the other Predator bully assholes in Predator School. Also, only needs a slight twist of the wrist to release its finishing move was the nickname my call. Why are the grapple gun and chain uncloaked when the spear on his back is cloaked? If you got the material to cloak the metal spear, why not use it on the chain and hook? No one will be seated during the scene of infinite roof slides. Oh, I see. It has a dramatic revelation setting. Never mind then. Nothing to see here, except me still adding another sin. The convenient 4-second hover pause function on these mines that only exists in this one instance of using them. Back at Predator Industries HQ, Predator Fred, or Fredditor as his co-workers call him, is now being raked over the coals because the simple task of designing the mines to not explode when located near their launcher was his baby project. But he's just back from a couple weeks vacation at Floston Paradise, and he forgot to send the paperwork through when he left, so now it's waiting to be included on the next firmware update. Oh, Fredditor, what will we ever do with you? It's only a few quick frames, but the wide shot of this explosion gets a little more PS2-esque than I think anyone would have wanted. Swords that feel the need to show off with a badass one-point landing. Delayed explosive trisections. These two were collected 800 years apart. Sure, they may have both just been in storage together for a while, but I need to know immediately what system they are using to organize and disperse their Predator killer supply. Someone is not rotating the product very well, so don't blame me when you all come down with salmonella.
¿Cómo la arreglamos, huh?
I was gonna ask you the same question.
You're the one with the broken engine.
Assuming the person who broke it should be the person to fix it. Let's just say I didn't go to my brother to put back in the teeth he knocked out with a baseball.
Charles Lindbergh could fix his own car.
I think he's got people that do that for him, Dad.
Movie has time to discuss Charles Lindbergh's competency at automotive repair.
Dreams are fuel.
They are not. The segment does not contain one of the greatest car chases in the history of cinema. The main character of this chapter is a pilot whose plane is named Bullet, which I'm guessing means that the proper name of Ursa's shield was Shield, and the proper name of Kenji's sword was Sword. And I just think that's weird.
What's flying mean to you, son? Speed? That's hitting the gas. Fancy maneuvers? That's steering.
What's missing from this scene is an actual definition of what flying means to anyone.
Sir, I'm a pilot.
Doesn't look like it to me, son.
The Rehearsal Season 2.
I never seen anything like it. Hooks in the sky! Hooks in the sky!
Kareem didn't invent the skyhook until the late 60s, and this takes place in 1941. Get a continuity department, jeez.
What the heck?
This thing waits until Torres has time to try several different ways of opening it before getting its Iron Giant on and heading back to space. Bringing a spaceship to a dogfight.
This plane barely starts, man!
Give me a minute.
Is he meditating the plane into working order?
He's going to die.
He's not. It feels like the movie is suggesting that this Predator did some Earth War aviation combat study and prepped his ship for this aerial battle. And since when do Predators do homework? Nerd!
Of course I do. Son of a bitch!
You can't take issue with the comedic timing of a plane that was clearly built by Buster Keaton.
First, your wing!
Ah, shit.
Here we go.
Trying to climb out and do a repair on your plane's wing when you haven't even reached cruising altitude yet. Whew. Now that he's moved the flap, the plane will fly completely straight and not need a pilot anymore. Neat trick. Holy shit, fine. Even I am not immune to cool-ass sci-fi weapons and shit.
The heat.
Okay, fine. I see you in the comments saying the reason it activated earlier when the plane started was the engine heat, as opposed to any other areas of mechanical heat that might be present on a giant aircraft carrier.
No one is coming to bail us out.
Pretending the scriptwriters don't exist.
Kill this motherfucker for me.
No, turn it off!
You see Torres turn off his engine and make his heat signature go away, and nothing happens to suggest this wasn't an option for Vandy as well. So the scene ends up just being Vandy deciding his motherfucker line was more important than just not dying. The gravity of the situation is allowing this plane to coast vertically up into the sky with no power for way too long.
You're blind now.
It is a huge leap from your weapons operate on heat targeting to you can't see me at all, but it will be correct because
The movies.
It actually worked!
not exactly how I would phrase it, but close enough. This is not how planes work. Right now, Torres is using the Force to maintain lift during this discount trench run.
Oh, we did it.
Celebratory prematuration.
Thanks, Dad. Gotta flood the engine.
If by flood the engine you mean climb out of the cockpit and use a parachute so that your plane works as a lassoed bomb that will perfectly wrap around the enemy ship and explode onto an apparent weak part of the hull while throwing you safely backwards into the water below, sure. But I'm not actually thinking your dad had much to do with most of that. Oh, cool. We finally get to see how these badass humans are recaptured. Must be some complex, sneaky trickery used to best these amazing predator killers. No? You just pull up behind them, shine some bright lights, and put a targeting beacon on their chest for a few seconds while they do nothing but stand there? Huh. I guess that's cool, too.
What? How long was I asleep?
What the f*** is he seeing that makes him think he was out for more than a regular amount of sleepy time? Believing what you're told on the grade school playground. Hate to break it to you, Ursa, but what Chris told me about girls being born from one hole and boys from the other because of the injuries the mom might sustain isn't true. But I get it. The logic of sustaining either a hernia or a hemorrhoid made total sense to 8-year-old me too.
A fight to the death. Skull ain lever. そして生存者は
Reality shows. Also, this is some pretty great world building and a ton of fun. But I have to ask again, how the committee is doing the selection process for this thing. We see later that you have an Indiana Jones-style warehouse full of predator killers ready to go. So how did these three get the call? I need a Moneyball-style movie about the scouting and decision-making involved, and I need it yesterday. Or, and hear me out, the roller of credits.
What the hell?
Lazy research departments. Also, your forced franchise callback raises a bunch of unanswered questions about where in the timeline we are in reference to Mike Harrigan, and I'm not patient enough to wait for your answers that may or may not show up.
But if we can get up to that ship, I think I can fly us out. I shot one of those down before.
Ah, yes, the little known, if you can shoot it down, you can certainly fly it rule. Also, saying you shot it down is a bit of an overstatement, Torres. You and a scriptwriter threw a plane at it.
All right, bullets. Gunpowder.
Excitement? Also, none of the bullets and gunpowder we see here were there when he first picked up the gun. Honestly, why have they made this so much more complicated than just giving him a plane?
I have a plan to get us out of here!
Trying to pull a Deep Blue Sea when I know you love this character too much to make it stick. Also, Evolution put field hockey sticks on this animal's face and put its mouth on the back of its head. Now, if we could only find out where the bocce balls and asshole are located. Fate saw fit to gift Ursa with a sharp-edged shield, the exact weapon she needed in the moment. Funny how fate is never this generous with condoms. Neither Ursa nor Kenji goes after this easy target on the hoverbike, so Torres can have his unlikely moment later instead. Deus Ex, why the f didn't you let me see how Torres got out of the belly, learned how to turn off the death necklace, and commandeered this thing in a...
Are we friends now?
For some reason, they cut dialogue from this scene where Ursa and Kenji simultaneously said yes, but only because I'm pretty sure after all this is done, fate will gift you winning lotto numbers as well. Impromptu coordinated battle choreography is somehow impromptu and also coordinated. And also totally f***ing rad. Now he's using his abilities to instantly learn how to fly this alien spacecraft. Is the movie ever going to just admit that Torres is a Jedi? Nice. The old me and my boys are going to slow walk towards you as you steal our ship because it's no big deal and we're pretty sure we can grappling hook you here in a second shot. Classic. Pretty sure that the translation here is screwed up, and she really said, "Heads up, guys, I'm going to sacrifice my life on the off chance that I make it all the way down this thing and there's some sort of release down there I can hit. Toodles." Also, I'm glad she's learned that it's better to break the cycle of violence instead of encouraging quests for vengeance at every turn. But they don't speak Norse, so there's a fair chance they will assemble a team to avenge her. God forbid they name themselves the Thunderbolts. If I'm being honest, I never thought you guys were ever not hunting. Yep, that's right. Naru is there too, and if you watch the extended cut that came out later, both Dutch and Mike are there as well, which means A, all the cool badasses you love from those movies got captured like chumps, and B, you may never see what happens to them next. Thanks for taking our heroes and putting them in eternal lame status movie.
It's gonna be cold, it's gonna be gray, and it's gonna last you for the rest of your life.
Some call me Stonebringer, Shield Maiden, the Valkyrie of the Northern Seas. My name is
Inigo Montoya, you killed my father. Prepare to die.
I'm a ninja, everybody! I'm doing ninja stuff now!
Got the face! Got the f***ing face!
Parkour! 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 With all due respect, I'm not a mechanic.
Well, not with that attitude.
Get off my plane.
Dale, motherfucker.
Dale means a lot of things. It's almost like if you've seen the movie Donnie Brasco and they say forget about it.
Oh, God.
It's called probing.
Each will receive a weapon of their tribe.
And my axe.